So what have you been up to, kid?
Oh, nothing. Just had a good day at work today, finally, for a change. Everything's just
Wow.
changing. Yeah.
You mean you didn't hit nobody and didn't kill anybody?
It was too
Smack
cold
anyone with
in there. Are you kidding?
the file folders flying about the room? No? All
No, it was
good?
too cold in there for me to even move.
It's
It
still
was
cold in the house too. So
Well,
it was 40 degrees outside, and they kept it for like 35 degrees in the room.
oh
well,
wow.
it's raining like a son of a bitch right here, and I'll tell you that. It's raining bad.
Ugh.
Rain here a little
We
bit.
are we're joined by the TikTok panda queen here tonight. I'll call her Carrie Carter, and we're not going to tell anybody who she really is. 'Cause she's got enough bad heat right now, as we used to say in wrestling. She got a lot of heat right now. So listen, Amelia,
Yes.
you ready to do this, pup?
Let's do this.
Let's do
Do the
this.
damn thing, y'all.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's 4 p.m. in Los Angeles, California. It is 6 o'clock in Chicago, Illinois, and it's 7 p.m. here in New York City. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I am Mad Dog DeCipio. Welcome to What's the Buzz Podcast. I'm joined each and every week by the mouth of the South herself, Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman. Amelia, it's that night. It's Thursday night. What does that mean, young lady?
What's the buzz time?
It is What's the Buzz time. Before we start our show tonight, we've got a lengthy show.
Yes.
We actually had to issue a disclaimer tonight. It
Mhm.
might get graphic. It probably will, in fact. Before we begin, I want to wish speedy
Breaking news.
recovery, please, speedy recovery
Mhm.
to Lisa Marie Presley, who is
Yes.
fighting for her life right now in a Los Angeles hospital.
Yes.
She, 54 years old, had a full-on cardiac arrest. Like her father did.
Mhm.
That's what took Elvis. There's a history of heart disease in the Presley family.
Yes.
We certainly don't wish any ill upon
No.
Elvis's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley. We want her to get well
Absolutely.
soon.
Mhm.
You got children that want you and they need you, and you got grandchildren that want and need you to be around.
Yes,
So
you're in our thoughts. Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
absolutely. And given the fact that we just celebrated Elvis's birthday, by the way, thank you, Nathan Pidhorf.
Yes.
Your album is on the way, my friend. You've got actually 3 albums coming. So, and to our friends Gil and Mike, our Kiss lookalikes, your shirts are on the way, fellas.
Yes.
Tonight, a very controversial indeed program. The death of a pop star, Aaron Carter. You all remember Aaron Carter as part of he was the brother of Nick Carter, Backstreet Boys. Of course, everybody knows that Nick Carter and his crew, the Backstreet Boys. Aaron was a 12-year-old prodigy, selling a quadruple platinum album at the age of 12, the youngest person in the music business to do so up to this point, and still haven't, by the way. Interesting. He had a very prolific career for a young guy. And then somewhere along the way, well, life took over and Aaron went off the rails. Tonight, we're joined by a young lady. We're just going to call her the TikTok Panda Queen. We're going to call her Carrie Carter, for lack of a better name, because she's got people that want to beat her up. So let's just change her name. And I might put her in silhouette later. We'll find out later.
Right.
Carrie, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yes. Welcome to the show.
I brought you on board because I've been kind of trolling you a bit, and I'll be honest with you, I have been trolling you. I tell you what, I'm going to just start with you. When did you become aware of who Aaron Carter was?
So I've known Aaron Carter actually since I was a little girl myself. When I was about like 7 or 8, maybe 9, something like that. I can't remember. It's been so long ago.
And you're 15 now, 16, right?
Yeah, 16. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom actually brought home this cassette tape, and it was the one that he did the voice, or not voiceovers, but did the remakes for Crush on You and One Bad Apple Song or whatever.
Oh,
And I
sure, yeah.
loved it. And I'm like, oh my God, I love him. I love him. When I got older, I was always a big fan, but as I got older and got into social media, my father passed away in 2009. And every year I would post like a tribute post to my dad. Just so happens one year I used a post, but I used one of Aaron's songs, to kind of represent my dad. And I got this real nice comment on it. And I thought it was a fake account, like just kind of messing around with me, whatever. And I just said, thank you, back to it. And then I got a private message, and it was like, no, really, blah, 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 this whole conversation. And we just kind of talked a little bit through social media. And then it got to where we became like really good friends through social media. And then it got to where we exchanged numbers. So we started talking via text message. And then it got to where it was more like a let's talk over video chat kind of. So I was really nervous, but we did the video chat thing, and we just grew instantly as like friends. So we just talked. And yes, I know I'm not the only female he talked to in the lifetime.
Not even close, girlfriend. Not even close.
Not even close, but
I actually have I actually have some information about that. Let me share with everyone right now. According to the information given to me by an Aaron Carter insider, and that's all I'm allowed to say legally, but I will tell you that this person was with him when he passed. Okay. There were somewhere around 3,000 girls.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
At 3,000 that had his number, that he had their number, that communicated with him on a daily basis, some more than others. So you are one of many.
One of many,
Let's just clear that up.
I'm not the only one.
Let's talk about something, and it's important too.
Of course.
Did he try to use, when he met you and you guys started having a little dialogue, did he try to use the celebrity card to gain sexual favor with you?
No.
Okay, because we've heard that periodically. Actually, I've heard that a lot.
Not with me.
So not with you. Okay, good.
No, right. I mean, I've been married since, well, not technically married, but I've been with the same guy since 2001.
Okay.
And, we kind of started.
So you have a common law marriage.
Yeah, well, we're technically married. We've been married for 15 years, but, I went into this, and on my profile, there was blatantly pictures of me, my husband, my children, so he knew that I wasn't one of those people that's just going to, oh, you're a celebrity, let me show you my boobs. No, we're not doing that. Doing the Hooters, nobody.
Oh, right from the boobs. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So
I'm so glad that I issued a disclaimer.
No, none of that. Nothing dirty or anything like that. Just more of a kind of talking back and forth, like being friends, talking about our issues and problems, which I know he did with many people, but it's kind of like you don't know me in person. I'm probably never gonna physically get to touch you in person. So let me tell you some stuff,
So let's talk about this. Aaron Carter's passing was quite the shock to the general masses, but particularly for the people who followed him and his music. How did you become aware of his passing? What did someone on the inside tell you, or did you find out like everyone else?
Kind of waking up that morning. I didn't really know anything as of yet. And I looked at my phone, and as normal, I wake up like I do every day, and I just kind of look at it, and I don't really pay much attention to it until I get my day started. So generally I take care of my kid first before I worry about my cell phone or anything. And
Right.
I just happened to look at it and I had this message that says, you might want to look at this. And I had a picture and I'm like, oh my God, no. And like that's kind of how I found out. Somebody sent me a message
Okay. So
privately.
it was fair to say that it was quite a shock to you then?
Do I want to say shock? I mean, I hate to say it, but no. I mean, I was devastated, but I wasn't shocked because I do feel
Yeah.
like it would have eventually happened either by himself or
Yeah.
with,
I'm glad you said that, Carrie,
you know,
because I have to tell you something. I do extensive research for this show because I have to, not only as a journalist, but legally I have to protect myself.
right.
The one thing that I heard repeatedly over and over and over is that it did not come as a surprise.
Yeah.
And that in itself should speak volumes.
Right.
That's a statement of all statements, that it did not come as a surprise. We're going to find out tonight what happened to Aaron Carter. We're going to be here for quite a while. And because we have some commercial spots we have to do, we have some breaks that we have to do, and we're going to take one right now. So bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. What's Buzz Podcast wants to welcome Radioactive FM 88.6 in Wellington, New Zealand, Radio Perth, Australia, and RTL Radio 102.5 in Milan, Italy. Welcome aboard, and welcome to the Buzz. All right, we want to welcome our stations overseas in Italy, New Zealand, and Australia.
Yes.
And of course, our friends and stations here domestically. We are, by the way, Amelia, and I mentioned it Tuesday night on the Elvis show, we are just now approaching the 11 million mark.
Wow.
Yes.
On our show. So thank you guys from around the world. And thank you.
Yes.
Keep watching. So let's talk about this. I want to show some preliminary information out. I want everyone that can watch this to follow us. But those of you listening on the radio around the world, and thank you to our 3,000 radio stations, we are going to do this old school, and we're going to just talk as we go.
Yes.
So let's do this here. Understand that the information that I have gotten is directly from the source. Let me read this off to you guys. The death certificate for Aaron Carter has revealed that the late singer's body was cremated 2 days after he died. Andy Symonds, 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 the co-author of Carter's controversial unfinished memoir, the publication of which is since been put on hold, and I will tell you the truth why shortly, wrote in the book that Carter had told him that he stopped taking Xanax and huffing canned air like dust off. Apparently that's a thing, Carrie. People are huffing canned air. I don't understand it, but again, I'm an old guy, so I wouldn't understand it.
Nope.
According to Symonds, he wasn't doing any drugs at the time they were writing this book. The highs and lows of his life are what's encapsulated in this book. Unfortunately and sadly for Aaron Carter, he did not live to finish this memoir. You're going to actually hear a little bit of information fresh off the press today. His family has put a legal cease and desist on the publication of the book. They want the book published on their terms, but they also want all the money from it.
Right. Yep.
Now, you may have heard that. I will verify that to be absolutely true. They want the money, but they also want to control the narrative. We need to understand that as well. So let's be clear. There is a narrative here. And the narrative is Aaron Carter is our property and we're going to control our property.
Right. Yep.
Aaron Carter's memoir release date has been pushed back amid controversy from his friends and family. Aaron Carter's memoir is delayed out of respect, quote unquote, for his family. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's put on hold because the lawyers are wrangling to get the best deal. That's why it's on hold.
You know that they're making a knockoff of it on Amazon, where people were buying the actual book from Andy
Yeah.
Simon on Amazon, and if you go to look for it now, it's
Mhm.
no available for purchase. But people did purchase it while they had it on Amazon.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
wow.
then I can tell you why it's not there. There's a cease and desist in place.
Right, right.
Mhm.
He's legally not allowed to sell that book,
Wow.
despite the
He's
fact
not
that his name is on it.
Mhm.
right.
Not all parties that are on that book and closed in that book are alive to speak of it. So he cannot produce and publish that book on his own.
Right.
He just can't. He just cannot do it.
That money should go to his child anyway, not to the family.
I agree.
So, yeah.
Okay, here is it's an interesting thing, and you might know about this.
Mhm.
hmm
Aaron opened up for the Backstreet Boys in Germany at the age of 8. His Aaron's Party album was certified triple platinum when he was 12, the first and only artist in history to do that. Aaron Carter made a statement, and I don't understand where this came from. I'm relying on Amelia and Carrie to fill me in here.
Right.
Apparently, he performed in Germany a few times. He loved the German audience to the point where he said, and I quote, that I love you guys. People in America don't appreciate what I do. They suck. They're horrible people. Blah blah blah. You understand what I'm saying? You
That
know
was
that
that was true.
you've heard this. Okay.
Yep.
Where did all that come from?
Because of all the hate and everything he was getting from people here, growing up and all of that, people would just bully him and trash him and trash his name because of his family.
Okay.
Yeah, he
And
could
we
be
have to
himself over there.
understand now. We
Mm-hmm.
have to understand why and where this is coming from. Because he died when he was 34.
Yeah.
Certainly not a child anymore.
No.
When you're 12, 13, you expect to be protected. Apparently, he wasn't.
No.
But when you're 34, 33, 34, around that age, you expect to be able to protect yourself. And he didn't or couldn't. My suspicion is that he couldn't, that he was not capable of it. Let's
correct.
continue. He allegedly got into drugs at an early age. Apparently, this was in the book. Some allegations referencing Michael Jackson getting him started with wine, cocaine, pills to go to sleep, pills to wake up, to the point where Carrie and please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, sir.
To the point where that Aaron fell asleep several times in the bathtub.
Right. That's correct.
Mhm.
Okay, that is correct. So I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page here.
Yep.
Because we're going to continue on to the next section.
Yes.
April 2021. Andy Symonds said that they met 3 times in person, and in 2019 and 20, they got together for this book project. In the book, Aaron Carter describes some eerie bathtub moments. We just talked about it.
Yep.
He recalled falling asleep in the tub several times as a young child in need of a break. Now,
Correct.
apparently, if you don't know anything about show business, there's no rest for the weary.
Mhm.
You are on tour all the time.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yep.
It's bad enough for an adult to do that. A 12-year-old kid at the time would be hard-pressed not to be exhausted.
Right. Yep.
Plus, it's
Yes.
child endangerment and child abuse.
Right.
He says,
Yeah.
Aaron says, I remember looking at myself in the bathroom near him and one of our hotel rooms and falling asleep in the bathtub because I needed the rest. He wrote, my mom broke down the door, afraid I was drowning in there. That's
Correct.
a quote that's in the book. He said shortly after his 18th birthday, he booked a trip to Amsterdam where we overdid it with mushrooms. So apparently he had a thing for illicit mushrooms. They will do a number on you. They are hallucinogenic, and they
Yes.
will fuck with your head.
They do.
Let's bring this back. Let's take this down here.
Mhm.
because what I want to do right now is bring Carrie up front and
Yes.
personal here. So, talk to me. We're reading, and then I got some more to read too, by the way. But we're reading some stuff about Aaron does not paint him in a very good life. We've got 51 people in our chat right now. And thank you guys from TikTok and Instagram. By the way, if anyone in the chat room has a question, feel free to ask a question. We will ask it on the air. So, Carrie, let's continue the narrative here.
Yes.
All of that information that I just read, factual?
Factual.
Is factual? Okay.
100%.
Based on what you know, based on what you know about the family dynamic, how close was Aaron to his brother and his mother?
Through the years, their relationship kind of severed over the years. I mean, he wasn't as close with his brother as he wanted to be. Aaron was very, I wouldn't say jealous and envious, but he kind of wanted his brother's attention so much that he was trying to do any and everything to get that attention. And
I will
unfortunately,
tell you what I found out today. It's interesting. The information I got today was that Aaron desperately wanted to go on tour with his brother.
he did.
To open up for him.
That's true.
And that he and other members of the band voted him down.
They did. That's correct.
Okay. And so you know that story I'm telling is absolutely true.
That's true.
That came from an insider today connected to the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
We know a lot of people on this show.
Not
a lot
all
of people.
At all.
Yeah. And so the information given was that he wanted to go on tour. And when they booted him down, when they voted him down and said no, and went for another act, it put not only the kibosh on the relationship between the two brothers, but according to what the information I got today is that they barely saw each other for the last 4 to 5 years.
That's correct. Yep.
Is that correct as well? Okay, so all the people watching this, you're getting information that's factual. I have to, as a journalist, be accurate, but we have lawyers here, and we have to make sure that it's legal.
Correct.
So, Amelia, I'm bringing you up front and close and personal to this. I'm going to bring you up front and let everybody take a look at Amelia, the pit bull. Let's talk about this. Aaron Carter, young pop star, dead at 34. Questions for Carrie, questions for any number of people in the chat room. People in the chat room, please ask your questions. We have lots of time tonight.
Yes, of course. I was just gonna, at first, when I came up to and approached Carrie, and she was like, of course, yes. I guess I had surprised her at first, didn't I? When I came across.
Like, what?
What, me?
Where'd you go from?
I know. She was like, what? Who are you? But I know that when you found out and everything that was going on when he had passed away, I know that it had surprised you and with everything going on. Do you know of any, did you start a fan club? Because I know that every day you try to ask questions and things like that to keep him, his memory alive. And I'm
not really like a fan club. I mean, let me just first say this. I'm not like big on TikTok or anything. People do know me as Panda Queen 327, but I'm not like big on the app. I'm not trying to be big on the app. I'm not trying to be famous. People have asked me multiple times, well, if you knew Aaron, why weren't you known? Why weren't you seen? Why weren't you in his lives? Why weren't you doing this? Why weren't you doing that? And the reason for that is because I have to have security. At the end of the day, I have a family. I don't want that attention that he got because the attention that he got was negative. I don't want to put my children through that. I don't want to put my husband through that. I don't want to put my family through that with harassment and bullying.
Well, the truth of the matter is that you did not have a relationship with Aaron Carter and do not imply that you did. Very important because you could subject yourself legally to prosecution. You understand that, right?
Right.
Okay, let me talk right now. I got to address this.
Yes.
Someone named Anti-Bullying in the chat room. Let's talk about the few people saying you're incorrect in this chat. Let me make one thing very clear to everybody right now. Okay, we don't have any drama around here. Never have, never will.
No.
Everything that I say is absolutely 1000% correct because
Yes,
my
sir.
lawyers make sure that it is.
He has
Any
to.
questions you have regarding that, address our legal team. Thank you very much. Now,
Mhm.
questions regarding Nathan has a no, Natasha.
Natasha.
What is a reasonable amount of time before the public is made aware of toxicology reports? And can someone be held accountable if Aaron Carter died from an OD? Absolutely. The answer is yes, someone can be held accountable. Toxicology normally takes 6 to 8 weeks for a full tox to come back.
Right.
How long has it been now? About
10,
how long?
10 weeks.
10 weeks.
10 weeks. So I would suggest to the to Natasha, I would suggest to you, Natasha, that the toxicology is in. I will tell you emphatically that I know for certain. I know for certain that Aaron Carter did not die of a drug overdose. That is absolutely false. Nor did he die from suicide. That is absolutely false. We will go over. I will go over with you tonight how he died because it's accurate, it's truthful, and it's painful. So understand, and we have a young woman crying her eyes out right now because she knows that I just told the truth to the world.
That is true.
Okay.
Why also did they cremate him so fast? Is what I
That was the family. They cremated him in record time. Why?
Yeah.
Here's why. To protect the evidence.
Yep.
To protect the evidence. How do you drown in a bathtub with no water in your lungs?
Exactly.
Exactly. You can't. Impossible.
So let's talk about this. We're going to go, and one of the things that we do here on the show, if people watch, they know this. We do a lot of video here.
Yes.
We let the video tell the story.
And it's my favorite part
I want
of the
everybody
show.
to take a look at this. This is called our show and tell tonight. We've got 4 of these. The Aaron Carter story, the troubled, sad story of a pop star. Interesting that Aaron and Melanie here are doing the Illuminati symbol.
Yep.
Interesting. Because it's going to play into this too, by the way. This is what I referenced earlier. I miss you too, Germany, every day. Nothing compares to an international fan base. America sucks really bad. The people here are not well and project unto me. All good, whatever that means. Idiots have patterns. Just know America is terrible compared to international territories.
Yep.
That's not a way to gain friends and influence people, for sure. Something else that's occurred in the last days prior to Aaron Carter passing, he was accused not only by this particular artist,
Yep.
but several people for stealing their artwork and their copyrighted materials. Not the actions of a responsible person. I almost said not the actions of a sane individual, but my my suspicion is that Aaron was all too sane but very irresponsible. Let's continue. Okay. Let me read something to you. And now, Carrie, I know that you're aware of this. Amelia, I know that you are aware of this, but there are people in our chat that may not be aware. There are people listening and watching all around the world. Let me read this. This is from Nick Carter. After careful consideration, my sister Angel and I regret that we are required to seek a restraining order against our brother Aaron today. In light of Aaron's increasingly alarming behavior and his recent confession that he harbors thoughts and intentions of killing my pregnant wife and unborn child, we were left with no choice but to take every measure possible to protect ourselves and our family. We love our brother and truly hope that he gets proper treatment he needs before any harm comes to himself or anyone else. Have either of you or anyone in the chat room heard that before?
Yes.
Okay. And what were your immediate thoughts, Carrie?
That he slipped off the deep end, honestly. That he slipped off the deep end and he went down way too far. He hit rock bottom, honestly.
Okay.
He was going through a lot of stuff in that whole time frame. A lot of stuff.
Jennifer in the chat room says, I refuse to believe suicide. I think he was fed drugs, and people are quick to believe suicide is so that that's why he was cremated so fast. Well, Jennifer, I think we addressed, and I think I amply addressed the fact that he was cremated to protect evidence. I will talk at the latter part of the show what I know to be true and why I believe he was cremated so quickly. This story is a deep, disturbing story that will not go away after this episode, I assure you.
No.
Because there's a lot more here than this is just episode 1. I assure you we've got at least three more shows.
Oh, yes.
At least. Now, again, as I said earlier, and here is the text to prove me. Aaron says that he hasn't seen his brother Nick in 4 or 5 years. Right. Now, he says here, this is a tweet, I haven't seen him in 4 years and I don't intend. Take care at Nick Carter. We're done for life. So my brother just got a restraining order against me. We just read this. And I was just served. So when he was served, Carrie, did you get any heads up from him? Did he talk to you about this?
When he was served these papers, it was like, to him, he was kind of confused as to why they would push him away like this, why they would restrict him like this. It was like he didn't understand what he had done wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like he was like, you know, this is normal behavior. We're brothers. Like they should be pushing me away like this. Family fusses and fights all the time. So
we are going to explore the brother dynamic shortly. Let's take a listen. By the way, that's his mother.
Yep, that's Jane.
That's a very interesting way to kiss your mother.
Yeah,
they're kissing full on the lips. I was, can I be honest with you guys? I'm not a prude by any means.
Mm-mm.
But if I kissed my 87-year-old mother like that, somebody would be ready to lock me up under the jail.
Ye-
Okay, that's
Mhm.
disturbing to me.
Very much so.
This is how most people remember Aaron Carter.
Mm-hmm.
He was 12, 13 years old here.
Yeah.
Handsome little kid. Good
We look-
looking boy.
Yes.
There's his mom. His mother is a beautiful lady.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no denying it. She's a beautiful woman. But certainly the relationship between disturbing. That's all I'll say. It's disturbing to me.
Very.
And you see them a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Melanie.
Mm-hmm.
You rolled your eyes on that one, Carrie.
I saw that
I
look.
caught that kid.
I saw that look.
I don't like her very much at all.
Apparently, yeah.
There's
Mhm.
I don't care for the woman.
This photo, it's an interesting picture.
Yeah.
The photo that you see in the center of Aaron and his of Nick Carter and
Mhm.
his children.
Right.
That was taken after 2 days after Aaron died.
Yep. No,
Okay.
no sadness, no remorse, no nothing.
Smiling like nothing ever happened.
Nope.
Interesting. Do you know the story behind that picture?
That was his family. Now there's also something that I'm gonna have to walk and get my daughter. I hope you guys understand, but there was also a video of him in a bathtub a couple days after Aaron had died,
Mhm.
and he was in soapy water,
Mhm.
and he was literally saying Merry Christmas, mimicking how Aaron died.
Yeah.
And the video is floating around. It's actually on my main YouTube, which is the YouTube that I'm logged in on this from,
Mhm.
of that happening. And it's very sickening that he was smiling and laughing, pretty much mimicking his brother's death,
Yeah.
in my personal opinion.
Let's take a look. Okay.
It's dark for a second. I'm going to move rooms.
Yeah. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. So, Amelia, talk to me.
Yeah, it's just that, from the look from when he was a little kid to now, you could see a difference in his
There's a
the
lot of
way
You
his
can,
pain
you know
in his
what?
eyes
The
and
word I
everything.
use for this, Amelia, maybe you could choose a different one,
Mhm.
but I use the word metamorphosis.
Mhm.
You're watching Aaron Carter metamorphosis from,
Mhm.
a
From a happy
child
child
pop star,
to
yeah,
Mhm.
from basically a young teeny bopper pop star
Mhm. Yes.
right.
to into teenage years, into young adulthood,
Mhm.
to becoming a young man.
Yes.
And basically doing it by himself with no guidance.
Mhm.
Therein, I believe, is the biggest problem
Mhm.
in the downfall of Aaron Carter. He was raising himself with no
Yes,
one
he was.
around him
No.
to say yes or no, mostly no.
Mostly no.
The
Yeah.
problem with people in entertainment is there are a lot of people who say yes, a
Yes.
lot of yes people.
Mhm. And you thought
Okay.
he at least could have had a parent with him to go, tour around, and that's why he wanted to be with his older brother, to be
Well,
with
look, we saw it
family.
happen with Elvis Presley.
Mhm.
He had all of these yes men around.
Yes, he did. A
Oh,
lot.
yes, Elvis.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
Elvis.
sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
Elvis.
how can I help you? Yeah. What else would
Yes,
you want?
yes,
How many
yes.
ice cubes do you want? Yes, of course. Yes, yes,
And
yes,
then
yes.
here's the problem. There's nobody to say no when you
Mhm.
take too many drugs, or no when you huff an air up your nose,
That's
or
because they were doing it with
however
him.
the hell you do it. I
Mhm.
don't know.
Basically.
Ena- all enablers. All
Mhm.
enablers. All of
Yeah,
them.
it's exactly what it is.
Yeah. 99% of them that were around him were enablers.
Mhm.
Brianna Holmberg says Nick has so many anger issues. He's not a victim.
That's true.
I need somebody
I agree with
to kind of fill me in here. Give me maybe Amelia or Carrie, if you want to, give me the Nick equation here.
Mm.
With apparently Brianna says that he has anger issues. So let's talk about this, because I'm going to show a video later that might prove this out.
So in the show, I don't know if you guys have seen it or familiar with it, but House of Carters, there was one video that stands out to a lot of people where Nick
I'm
was
actually going to, I know exactly which one you're talking about. I'm going to play it.
Okay, go ahead. Yep,
we're going to play it.
yes, go ahead.
Regret ever getting involved in... I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old, because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce, you still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me.
I need to talk to you. About dog poop? No, it's not about the dog poop right now.
This is the referenced clip that
Yes.
Carrie is talking about. The next couple of clips are from the television show House of Carter. Now you're going to see some very interesting family dynamics here. Please note that the family relationship. That's all I'm going to say. It's very interesting to say the least.
The girl's been telling me that you ask them to feed your dog all the time. Is that true?
No, I didn't say. I never said
kiss
ask.
my ass.
How dare you say that to me? I never said you asked me to feed your dog. I said I did it because I wanted to. Because I'm already feeding my dog. It doesn't hurt to feed another person's dog.
Why do you have a dog if you don't feed the freaking dog by yourself? No, I'm not listening to you. No, you know what? Hey, handle your responsibilities. You're not listening to me? Aaron, take care of your animals. Please? It's an issue.
So apparently, let's talk about this. Apparently, Aaron had let's say we'll call it authority issues. Clearly his brother Nick is a apparently responsible young man. We should also point out that this is Nick Carter's house.
Right.
Not Aaron's house.
Right. Yeah.
So let's understand what's happening here. Apparently, the dog pooped on the floor.
Right.
That's how this started. So what should have been an easy, okay, I'll pick the poop up and throw it away,
I mean,
turned into, pardon the pun, but a shitstorm.
Yeah.
Inside this house.
Bro, you're the killer of your own life. What are you trying to say? I'm killing my life? My life is beautiful. 4 years ago, I lived in an apartment that was 1,000 square feet. I live in a 5,000 square foot home. I own 6 vehicles. All right? I clear $70,000 a month.
I have a problem with this. Because the information I have does not support what he just said. He did not have 6 cars. He had 1 car. He did not clear 70,000 a month because just 2 weeks later, he made a video asking people for $100,000 on a GoFundMe to get out of town, out of Dodge, as he said, to live in an undisclosed location. If he's clearing 70,000 a month, then he's got money to show for it.
He would have had plenty.
Well, apparently he didn't have what people think he had. And that's what I found out today. He did not have what he said he had. He had an allowance that was given to him. Does everybody know how that works in the music business? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys know how it works? Because I'm going to tell you. Because I spent my entire life in the music business. Okay?
No.
Let me tell you how this works. As a recording artist, you sign a contract. It says the company, and then it says the artist. That's how you are referred to in the contract, the artist. To the point where Prince, remember Prince, changed his name to the artist.
Or did, yeah.
Okay, that's where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
Your record company will advance you money to live on, and they will continue to do it as long as you're making money. Well, Aaron Carter was no longer making money for his record company.
Right.
He became a liability to his record company.
That's true.
So he actually ended up having to owe his record company money. Because when you make an album, the record company advances you the money. They don't just pay you. You have to earn your money by selling records. That's how this works.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys think that I am in any way, shape, or form bullshitting you or pulling your leg, please, by all means, Google it.
And the merch,
Please,
right?
please do.
And that counts with the
I
merchandise,
assure
right?
you, I don't care if you're the Beatles, Kiss. I don't care if you're Led Zeppelin, Leonard Skinner. I don't care who you are. It works the same for every recording company and every artist. Watch this.
No, who cares? Yeah, they do. Someone just asked. So clearly somebody does. Why am I single? Because I deserve better. I don't get broken up with. Bro, you're the killer of your own life. Bro, you're the killer of your own life. What are you trying to say? I'm killing my life? My life?
Michael said that his biggest regret was settling that first lawsuit. Remember that one boy?
Now listen to this. I have to tell you this.
Okay.
So after I left the party, I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And I looked over at my mom and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And she goes, oh, well, I think something happened. You know, I think something. I'm like, really?
Now, I'm going to continue this clip and then I'm going to say something.
Mm-hmm.
This life can be sad if you let it.
Yeah.
It could be really lonely and really sad if you let it. Shush your pies.
Okay. He was talking about Michael Jackson and having to meet with FBI agents afterward. That never happened. I'm telling you factually.
Mm-hmm.
That story never happened. Why he made it up, why he decided to tell it, nobody knows, but it never happened. Let's continue.
These pies are good and they're warm. Oh, I got a little puppy dog. Who said that? That was so sweet. You literally just shut down all those fucking people when y'all do that. I can't afford a guard. Yeah, like I can't afford a $15,000 Rolex. And $35,000 around my neck in a Bentley. Alright, here we go. I've always wanted to see what my hair looks like shaven, so.
Karen, did you see this before? This clip?
Yeah, I did.
It's a very disturbing clip to watch.
Britney moment. You guys are so rude. How dare you treat Britney Spears like that? Alright, I need a mod. I'm an old man. No, we don't talk about Britney like that. I have a lot of fans who are supporters of Britney. Do not do that. I've always had to see what it looks like, you know what I mean? I just... Oh, thank you so much, family. Camellia. Why? Because it's my life and my choices. What gives fans the right to tell us what to do? You can't tell us what to do.
You hear what he said? What gives fans the right to tell us what to do? You can't tell us what to do. Well, somebody needed to. I have an interesting comment here in the chat. Nobody else was in the home but the house sitter. That is absolutely not true. We know now factually there was one other person in the house with the house sitter.
Yes.
And it was a black man, an African American guy, part of Aaron's crew, or alleged crew at the time.
He was the same man that was last seen with Aaron Carter at Walmart that night.
That is correct.
The same man.
He and the house sitter were the only two in the house. So the story that went, no one was in the home but the house sitter, I will tell you is absolutely false.
That was false.
There were two people in the house plus Aaron.
The man at Walmart.
Yep, let's watch.
In my house, you need my permission. No, I. You ask me. No, you ask me. Hey, grow up, kid. Grow up. I thought you want to get up and do something with your life. Grow up. Grow up, man. Hey, grow up. Grow up.
You need rehab? Like serious rehab?
No, not at all.
Okay.
For what? You know.
This is a tip. When I heard this, I thought to myself, son, you got a problem. The first thing he did was denied needing rehab when he needed it the most. Listen to this. This is what a drug addict sounds like, folks.
Clean 5 years?
Yeah, clean 5 years. You know, I don't really smoke weed anymore.
And the cops were here the other night?
Yeah, the cops were here. Yeah, I called.
And what?
Okay,
you called?
Yeah, I called the cops.
What happened?
She wouldn't leave. She was, you know, trying to trigger me and to, you know.
Into reacting?
Yeah, into reacting and arguing, and unfortunately, it looks like it's going to turn into a Johnny Depp Amber Heard 2.0. Because I have to, unfortunately, sue Melanie Martin for.
Oh, you're suing her?
For defamation of character.
Okay.
For lying about me breaking her ribs, and then her Kaiser report say that there was nothing wrong. So, because it almost ruined my career. But, so, I have no other choice but to sue her.
He says they almost ruined my career. I have no other choice but to sue.
Right.
He didn't have a career at this point. He was taking residual money and spending what little money he had left. You saw he had a $15,000 Rolex, a $35,000 chain. If it was smart, he would have paid his rent with it. His house was in foreclosure. His realtor, you've heard the story that his realtor refused to sell his house.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. Because he owed an exorbitant amount of money on the house, on the mortgage.
A lot of money.
They couldn't sell it. They couldn't sell it.
Yeah.
It had an outstanding mortgage.
Yeah, it's true.
That he couldn't afford. Nobody could have afforded it.
Oh, he owed too much. Way too much. Way too much.
So, let's talk about it. Carrie, what do you know about the last 24 hours?
So, I know that after the infamous live that everybody's seen where he looked zombified and he came and you could barely hear him and he muffled and everybody was wondering what he said, but he was talking about going to Guitar Center. Guitar Center is one of the many infamous places that Aaron would go to buy Duster.
Yep.
He also went to Walmart and Target and several other places. And he would travel as far as 2 to 3 hours away because people locally knew him. Multiple people, including myself, did call the local places and let them know about him buying Duster and tried to even make it where they would prevent him from buying it. But, you know, he knew that. So he would go and travel to other places to get the Duster.
Right.
At night, he did go buy Duster. I know that the night when he went to Walmart with the gentleman, he also bought Duster. He was supposed to be going there to buy a keyboard. He did buy the keyboard, but he also bought Duster as well. I don't know who the gentleman is that was with him. I've been trying to find out myself.
I will tell you who he is. I will not reveal his name, but he was a member of his security crew on the road. He was a what do you want to call him, a roadie? Or he was a roadie is who he is.
I know exactly who he is.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
I know exactly who he is. I don't even have to
Now,
say it. I'm not
let
going
me
to.
address the person up
No.
here on the in the chat.
No.
Posted media. This video is 2 years old. Does no one do research? Absolutely, we do research. I chose that video because it was 2 years old. I chose that video because it shows a historical reference. It also shows the disintegration of a human being before your eyes.
Right.
So, yeah, I do fucking research, asshole. So, if you have any
Yeah.
other fucking questions, contact our attorneys at the show.
You want to come at us
We
too?
do-
Come at us.
I will rip your fucking lungs out.
She's the one that I went live with on Instagram.
She's the one that came at Panda.
Yes.
I will rip your fucking lungs out. You do not know who you're screwing with. Trust me when I assure you, you don't know who I am. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk some more. In fact, I'm going to disable the chat. We're going to do that right now. Let's disable the chat.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we had. She had a great show on the other night. We were doing some great talk about Aaron, and she was doing some trivia, and we just like reminiscing. Everybody was having fun, joking around, and my camera's doing some weird stuff here.
We're going to discuss some again historical reference for people in the chat who say, "Well, do your research." We do our research, far better research than you do, asshole. Take a look at this. Okay. In his memoirs, Aaron Carter claimed that he was always suicidal, but never planned to actually do it. How much of that rings true to you?
100% true.
And that has been confirmed as well. He apparently suffered from, again, I'm going to issue information that's not been readily available. Aaron Carter suffered from manic depression.
Yep.
He also suffered from bipolar disorder that went unchecked and undiagnosed. Well, that was not undiagnosed. It was diagnosed, but that went unchecked. Because apparently he didn't feel like he needed anything to help him.
Nope.
Next over here. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Since his death, those close to him have offered tributes. He leaves behind son Prince, who turns a year old on November 22nd.
That's
Prince's mom is Carter's on-again, off-again fiance, Melanie Martin. Use the term fiance loosely because these two were very, very much at odds with each other. They did a lot more fighting than loving, let's put it that way.
Yep.
Backstreet Boys singer Nick Carter says he got a restraining order against his brother Aaron after he allegedly confessed his intentions to kill Nick's wife and his unborn child. The statement below reads, in September 2019, Nick Carter filed a restraining order against Aaron after he made a series of disturbing comments about his older brother's wife and child. Nick said in the statement, in light of Aaron's increasingly alarming behavior and his recent confessions that he wishes us harm, my pregnant wife and unborn child, we were left with no other choice but to take every measure possible to protect ourselves and our family. However, Aaron has denied his brother's claims and said that he did not see him and has not seen him in a number of years. Aaron Carter is a singer-songwriter famous for churning out tweeny bopper friendly music back in the late 1990s as a young guy. And in the early 2000s, again, as a perhaps 15, 16-year-old kid.
Right. Yep.
Not the workings of a 34-year-old man. Certainly, you can see an increasingly alarming pattern. The older he got, it seemed like the more desperate he became to be relevant.
Right.
Nick's career was taking off Aaron's was not. Why? Here's why. He was getting older. He was no longer cute. He was no longer the cute little kid. He was turning into a young man, and a different kind of audience was looking at him. He no longer had teeny bopper girls. He had, you know, young women and some mature women, quite frankly. Let us continue with one more. Aaron Carter is a singer-songwriter famous for turning out teeny bopper hits. His latest public meltdown is one for the history books. When a celebrity when their career is dying, let me just back up to everybody. We've all seen this happen. We've all seen this happen.
Oh, yes.
It's happened with Prince, Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra. It's happened with, it happened with the Beatles for a time. It happened with AC/DC, Aerosmith, the Rolling Stones, you name it. Okay. When an artist's career is dying, they often flame out in a cringeworthy public display. It's their best defense against becoming irrelevant. Listen to what we're saying. How do you stay relevant in the music business? By keeping your face out there. Aaron chose TikTok and Instagram and Facebook to keep his face out there. But there's one serious problem with TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Music people don't watch them.
Nope.
Music executives hate the thought of having to look at TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook because it's not relevant to what they do. It's what's relevant to a fan.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But not to an executive.
Yep.
Right. Aaron Carter has come a long way, and not for the better. Aaron's latest antics involving stealing artwork, bashing the artist when he complained, and then practically begging the artist to take him to court is just one of the serious actions Aaron Carter has going against him. Plus, for some reason, he hates America. And we already read that. I'm going to bring this back front and center now, and I'm going to bring Carrie up here into the big screen. Okay. Carrie, it is your turn. I want you to unload on those people who have bashed your beloved Aaron, and you have a chance now to set the record straight from your perspective. I know it's been an emotional night for you. I know I've given you information you did not have before.
Some of it, yes.
And so now this is your opportunity to speak. Your friends are in the chat room waiting to hear from you.
So, Aaron, as a child growing up, he did have a lot of issues with the family and the family, dynamic there, especially with his mom and his sisters, his sister doing drugs and, dying from drugs and all that. And then the issues with his brother and, issues with his mom. And I'm not going to say her name, but his mom abuses alcohol and drugs herself. Aaron got to the point where he would abuse many drugs also. And he would do other things besides recreational drugs, such as huffer, air cans, other style of drugs. So to be honest, yes, Aaron was a huffer. He hid it behind the scenes for many years, but he was a huffer and he enjoyed it. It was the feeling of it. It was just the rush that he got, the adrenaline. And God forbid, I love the man as a person, but let's be honest, he's just like me and you, and he did have his demons. And, I'm not going to put him on a pedestal and say that he was a god, of any kind. But at the end of the day, he did have a lot of things that he did wrong. And people fail to realize that he was a drug addict. He did abuse drugs multiple times on multiple occasions, even on camera, going live while using Duster and out of his mind, going batshit crazy. People think that he was trolling them But that's not true. He was
Mm-hmm.
using those items and he was doing that. So it's 100% facts. Aaron relapsed. He was never sober. He never intended on being sober. And he just did it for attention. Like he enjoyed going live. He enjoyed the attention, whether it be positive or negative. And
You
it's,
just opened up a
Yes.
Pandora's box.
you know, and it's
You
just,
just spoke a quintessential truth
Mhm.
that needed to be spoken.
yes.
He never intended on
No,
being sober. He
He ne-
never intended on cleaning up his act.
Correct.
Why? Because he wanted to live the rock star party life.
correct.
There's one problem, though. You have to have money to do that.
Mhm.
And he was rapidly running out of cash
That's
in,
why he had
in big fashion.
that's why he had so many enablers with him. One being his newfound artist. I'm not going to say his full name, but check. People know him. And he was one of the many enablers that then began to want to copy Aaron and
Yeah.
started dressing like Aaron and started doing music like Aaron because, you know, I mean, let's be honest, Aaron was semi-famous at this time. And, you know, this
Mhm.
guy thought that he was going to get something out of it. And he hasn't went very far, but he's got the attention that he wants, but it's not good. It's negative.
Yeah. I
It's on-
need to ask anti-bullying in the chat room.
Uh-huh.
We call them all the frozen sausage link followers. What the hell is a frozen sausage link
That's
follower?
the of trolls.
Do
He's
you
talking
have
about the
any
trolls.
idea what the fuck that is all about?
I
'Cause
believe that's the
it's
trolls
funny,
that she's
Tony,
talking about.
I have no idea what the hell
I
that
have
is.
no clue what the hell that means.
Me
I
either.
don't
I,
understand, but
I
Not a
think they're
clue.
keeping a track on your trolls.
there's just trolls everywhere. You're
So,
always gonna
Brittany says, I can't believe that there were older women obsessed in an inappropriate way over Aaron when he was a child. Absolutely, there were.
there's
And
people.
not just a few, a lot of them.
Mhm. Yes.
I mean, you got 60-year-old women that literally had Aaron Carter's picture on their phones or wallets, walls. I mean, you
It's a
still
scary thought. When you feel like you connect to somebody,
Mhm.
it's a scary thought because in your head you create
Yep.
this fantasy life.
Mhm.
I knew a person, and I'm going to share a story with you. I knew a person many years ago
Mhm.
who
Yep.
absolutely convinced themselves that they had a relationship with Jodie Foster, the actress. Okay.
Wow.
To
I
the
know.
point where
Wow.
he went out and bought, to the point where he went out and bought a ring for him and a matching ring for her and sent it to her.
Wow.
Needless to say, he got a very quick cease and desist letter in the mail.
I can imagine.
Yeah, boy, did he. Yeah, he shit a brick when that sucker came. Let me tell you something. There are people out there who live vicariously through other people,
Mhm. Oh yes.
you know?
Oh,
Which
I
is why, and I love these
People love
comments in
I
the chat room. I would
I
love to ask the chat room.
I know
I
one
have
to
a
this
question
day
for the
that lives
chat
like
room.
that. She
I've
thinks
seen a
I
lot
have
of
a question for the chat room.
them.
You
that
you guys in this chat room, and
Crazy.
first of all, right now there are 79 people, 78
yeah.
people, excuse me, in the chat.
goodness
I
gracious.
would love to know if there's
Goodness.
any of you that have a serious question about the cause of his death. How and why did he die so young? What were the circumstances around? I would love to know. Does anybody have a question in
Mhm.
that regard? Because
Please
nobody's asked that question yet.
Mm-mm.
Please
And
ask.
I'm utterly shocked that they haven't.
And
Yeah.
I feel that if he would have probably got clean or anything like that, I think that he would have
Be-
probably not get into a music business. I think he would have probably started his clothing line again, his love clothing line, probably.
He was slowly trying to pick back up on that, and that I
Mhm.
mean, I don't like the woman, God forbid, but
Mhm.
Melanie is now kind of taking it over, and she's doing it on her
Mhm.
own. Well, with somebody else. I'm not gonna name his
Well,
name.
let's talk about that, Carrie. You've mentioned, and you've never been shy about mentioning your
Oh
disdain for Melanie Martin.
no,
Let's talk about, is Melanie the victim here?
No.
Is she the perpetrator here? Is she one of many perpetrators, or is she just another victim?
She's not a victim of anything when it comes to Aaron. She was one of those let me use you girls, kind of like all the other
Okay.
girls was around. Let me use you for this attention. Let me use you for this. Let me use you for that. But it has been said that Melanie did pay for a lot of things for Aaron because Aaron did not have the money, which is facts. She
We
did
know.
buy Aaron's blade, so it does belong to Melanie.
Absolutely.
She did buy his teeth for $17,000. So technically, those are her teeth. She ain't gonna get them, obviously, but those are hers.
Nope, they're gone.
I'm not trying to be funny about it. I love the man, but she's not gonna get him back. He did, she did buy the ATV, which belonged to her. So she did buy the camper. There's a lot of things that she bought and paid for that belong.
Okay, so let's talk about this. You're talking about a woman that spent, in excess of several $100,000
right
over the course of some time.
Mm-hmm.
What does she do for a living that she's making this kind of money?
She works at a bar and she's also a model.
She works at a bar.
Yeah, kind of like a nudie bar, kind of.
Well, let me tell you what I found out about Melanie Martin.
She shows her boobies. Okay?
Melanie Martin has ascertained her money.
Yeah.
Notice I say ascertained, not earned.
Oh yeah.
She's ascertained her money by doing favors, quote unquote favors, for certain
things,
wealthy gentlemen.
Oh yeah, I know. Yes, for true. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The kind of
She still
favors
does.
where you could lay down and relax, kind of favors.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay.
Don't surprise me none.
I'm not calling her a floozy, but she's a floozy.
Well, if the shit stinks,
You know?
there's a trail somewhere.
Look, if the mattress has a cum stain on it, then wear it.
Exactly.
So here's the deal.
No telling.
We have. Well, I got to do some commercials here. Hold on, folks. I gotta take care of some business. Okay, let's take a look.
Take a break.
Amelia.
Yes.
We're gonna go for a break here. Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com and the Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you, and so will we. And What's the Buzz Podcast is also brought to you by Dan Emer's epic bestseller, The Satan Gene. Take a look at this. The Satan Gene, available on Amazon.com, Amazon Kindle, and Kindle Unlimited.
That is a great
One
book.
of our favorite people here, a great guest, Dan Emer, and he will be joining us, as are some of our favorite writers, Amelia, on the writer's block.
Yes. It
And
is a
when are we
great
doing that
book.
show?
I love it.
Tell everybody.
It's gonna be in March. Let's see, we haven't picked a
Sometime
date
in
yet.
March.
Yeah, because we got to get everybody together to.
Okay. See, we got questions in the chat room.
Oh yes, we got some good ones actually in there.
Oh,
I read one of them in there.
Oh,
That
here is something that I have, and I'm glad Dawn Cullums
Mhm.
brought this up. This is something I've had a problem with.
okay.
He
Mhm.
went live all the time to feel like he had friends because in real life he didn't have many friends at all, and that's factual,
That's
Dawn.
facts. That is
That's
true.
absolutely true.
That's
He
true.
used to have
Yes.
he also used his lives as an audience. His
Mhm.
He did.
I'm sorry, lives. His
Mhm.
lives as an audience.
Yep.
You got to remember something, folks. I'm old, so like, Amelia does the social media
That
here.
old.
She's the
Come on.
TikToker. First, and I'll be honest with you. I thank you. I love you, TikTokers, for being here, but I hate TikTok. I'll just tell you straight up, I hate TikTok. I do. I don't understand it. I can't figure it out.
Oh, come
Amelia takes
on.
care of all our social media.
Come
So
on.
if you enjoy the posters and all that, thank Amelia because she does all that shit. I mean,
Yes,
stuff.
does a good job too.
So
Well,
let's
thank
talk
you.
about that, Gary. Aaron used to go live a lot.
Yes.
A lot.
Times 3, 4, 5 times a day.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Crazy.
it really, it's in fact, I'm going to show another video. In fact, you are actually part of this video.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Scared.
Yeah. So you're
Scared, y'all.
yeah. I'm going to show you a compile it. And now this is a little lengthy, but I'm going to stop it anywhere you want me to. Okay.
So you can ask questions
It's a
or anything
rather
if you
yeah.
want.
And please don't hesitate to ask questions. I will answer whatever you got. This is a compilation of some of Aaron Carter's live TikToks, Facebooks, and Instagrams. So let's take a look.
This is Aaron Carter. I want to verify that this is actually my GoFundMe page. There's been a lot of misdirection that I've had to do in order to protect myself from being the silence breaker for my brother who is a rapist. And now they're after my life. My whole family is after my life. And they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million. And they don't want to pay me. And it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. Out there.
Michael said that his biggest regret was settling that first lawsuit. Remember that one boy?
Now listen to this. I have to tell you this.
Okay.
So after I left the party, I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And I looked over at my mom and I was like, "Are you serious, Mom?" I was like, "What is going on here? Why are you letting this happen?" And she goes, "Oh, well, I think something happened. I think something." I'm like, "Really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving. What the fuck is this?"
But then he turns around and says that Michael was responsible for giving him wine and coke and pills. So, which is it, Aaron? Is it that man was loving and kind, or that man gave me coke and pills?
He was confused by the attention from Michael by loving and kind because he was giving him things. And he thought that was a loving and nurturing environment because that's what he grew up with.
Anybody with a half a brain will tell you there's nothing loving or nurturing about doing coke.
No.
That's true.
Especially when you're 15 years old.
And I looked at my mom, I go, "Are you really trying to go at Michael and use me for a money grab? Are y'all crazy?" I said, "What you think I'm gonna do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money?" That's sad, man. This life can be sad if you let it.
Yeah.
It could be really lonely and really sad if you let it.
You guys need to see this video about Aaron Carter.
Who is a rapist. And now they're after my life. My whole family is after my life. And they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million. And they don't want to pay me. And it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. And Brad Paisley, who sued Sony Records for $10 million. They owe me money and they're trying to kill me off. And I'm begging you and I'm pleading you
Help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. My realtor won't sell my...
See, I have a problem with this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a serious problem with this because he's begging people. He just said, "I'm begging you, help me raise $100,000." But in the other clip, he's talking about a $15,000 Rolex, $35,000 chain, clearing $70,000 a month. He's got all these cars. Now, either he's completely delusional or he believes all this shit. And somebody needed to step up and say, no, you don't have any money. You don't have any cars. You don't have this fan base that you used to have when you were 12. Because he wasn't cute anymore. Look what happened to him. His face is loaded with tattoos.
That, or he owed somebody that much money, or they were trying to kill him off if he didn't pay them.
Well, we're going to talk about why he died, and you're closer to the truth than a lot of people realize, Amelia.
House. They're all involved in this, and they're trying to keep me there. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage, saying I wanted to hang myself. So please trust what I'm saying, and please don't.
Neighbors who tried to save Aaron Carter speaks out.
Took a couple of minutes before anybody answered.
Neighbor Anthony Chevelle and his wife, who's a nurse, say they tried to help Aaron after they heard the call on the police scanner.
Attention Lancaster units, code 3 responses needed.
They even had a defibrillator, but Anthony told us the person inside the home would not let them in.
She was like, no, he's gone, he's gone. I said, what do you mean he's gone? What's going on? Let us come help. She goes, he's dead, he's dead. And she slammed the door and locked it. And we were kind of puzzled why she didn't want us in the house.
Bro, you're the killer of your own life. What are you trying to say? I'm killing my life? My life is beautiful. 4 years ago, I lived in an apartment that was 1,000 square feet. I lived in a 5,000 square foot home. I own 6 vehicles. All right? I clear $70,000 a month. No, who cares? Yeah, they do. Someone just asked. So clearly somebody does. Why am I single? Because I deserve better. I don't get broken up with. Bro, you're the killer of your own life. Bro, you're the killer of your own life. What are you trying to say? I'm killing my life? My life.
So there are more details emerging about what happened to Aaron Carter last week. In this article
Let's
posted by
just
TMZ, they are reporting from the housekeeper that she went in about 2 a.m. on Friday when somebody called in a welfare check on him and the police came to the door. And when they went to go check on him, he was basically like, leave me alone. So she reported that she hadn't seen him all day Friday. And then Saturday morning, she went in to go see if he wanted a cup of coffee, and she ended up finding him. They are also reporting that the state of his body was in decomposition. And I imagine that this is because he was in water with the jets running all day Friday. There are new details that just came out saying that they found cans of compressed air at the scene. So now there is correlation that his death is possibly caused by his addiction. So this is actually really devastating. Aaron Carter has a young son, and he was only 34 years old. There are videos circulating of his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, on and off girlfriend, just in total.
It's an interesting video, very interesting video. Wonder where Carrie went.
Oh, there she is, right there.
Oh, there she is. Okay. You okay?
Oh, I'm still here. Yep. Sorry, I was getting my drink.
Oh, okay.
But-
Yeah. Try not to scoot off on me because I get nervous when you take off. I want to talk about what this young lady's talking about here because it already flies in the face of what I was told today. And it does not jive with the official record at all. We already know factually that there were at least 3 people in the house. Aaron, an African-American man, and a housekeeper of some sort. A housekeeper or a house sitter.
Correct.
We'll use the term housekeeper just to be generic. So, given that information, the information that this young lady is setting forth is either made up, not accurate, or a combination of both. My suggestion to everyone would be that she sounds like she's getting the narrative from a disreputable source.
Right.
or from a source that wants to set the narrative to suit their agenda. That's what it sounds like to me. So, Carrie, what do you think?
Well, I blatantly think one thing might be true about it is the duster cans. I do think that he did have them around him, but I don't know that that was the reason why he died. I mean,
Let's put it this way. I'm going to reveal why he died. I will tell you those dusted cans are going to be a very important part of how he died. I will tell you that. Let's continue.
That it was
devastation outside of his house. There are also videos circulating of Nick Carter last night performing with the Backstreet Boys and doing a tribute for his younger brother. There are years of documented estrangement within the family, but I imagine that it doesn't make it. So there are more details emerging about what
regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old. Because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce. You still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me.
Regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad.
They're about to win a Grammy. And so right after this, going to the studio.
I want everybody to really listen to this. This is really critical. Very, very important. This is an interview Aaron did. I believe this was with Steve-O. I believe it might have been Steve-O.
I got like 3 songs to cut. Hopefully I can knock out like 5 tonight probably. And then just focusing on that, and then I'm probably gonna just take a complete silence break from social media. And like 6 months. Get the videos done, everything done correctly. You know,
give them time to really miss your presence.
Correct. And that's the key, guys. All the rappers and shit. Y'all think that shoving this shit in your face all the time helps. It does not. It's annoying.
Got to give them a little bit of time to miss you, huh?
Yes, of course. Think about it.
Okay. I had to throw something in here for the conspiracy kooks. Just I had to do this because I don't know anything about who this guy G-Eazy is. So I'm going to rely on you, Carrie, to tell me who the hell Mr. G-Eazy is.
He was a person kind of like Aaron, a young star, so you will, but he didn't have a family like Aaron's. He turned into a rapper kind of like Aaron did as well. And he looked like Aaron, but then he started putting tattoos all over his face as well when he spiraled down.
Well, then let's take a look at this. They look like they could be twins.
Exactly.
So where did this guy come from? I mean, take a look at this picture. Look at that profile. You know? Look at this. It's remarkable. They look like twins. It's scary.
Very scary.
Do you need rehab? Like serious rehab?
No, not at all.
Okay.
For what? You know,
clean 5 years?
Yeah, clean 5 years. You know, I don't really smoke weed anymore.
And the cops were here the other night?
Yeah, the cops were here. Yeah, I called.
And what?
Okay,
you called?
Yeah, I called the cops.
What happened?
She wouldn't leave. She was, you know, trying to trigger me and to, you know.
Into reacting?
Yeah, into reacting and arguing, and unfortunately, it looks like it's going to turn into a Johnny Depp Amber Heard 2.0. Because I have to, unfortunately, sue Melanie Martin for.
Oh, you're suing her?
For defamation of character.
Okay.
For lying about me breaking her ribs, and then her Kaiser report saying that there was nothing wrong. So, because it almost ruined my career. But so I have no other choice but to sue her.
by his house sitter, and the house sitter tried to perform CPR, and he was pronounced after deputies arrived. But
this is another example of false information that becomes factual if enough people believe it.
Yeah, I see Carrie shaking her head no over there when that came about.
I
there.
want people to understand something. Just because it appears on TikTok doesn't mean it's for real.
No.
Exactly.
Okay.
People ought to realize that, but nobody listens. They want to believe what they believe, and that's all.
There was at no time, according to the Los Angeles Police Department, there was not at any time a homicide investigation into the death of Aaron Carter. It was never even considered as a homicide.
Nope. Facts.
Understand that. It was always considered either an accidental or deliberate overdose. We will tonight, for Aaron, for his fans, we will tell you what happened tonight in a bit. And if you can accept it, great. And if you can't, then believe what you want.
Exactly.
Considering this a suspicious event, and I don't think that's being reported yet. So stay tuned. I'll stay tuned to my Nixel.
Oh, Melanie. God, dude, can't you take a hint?
This right here.
She just told me you're going.
Okay, so let's stop because I know where you're going with this, Carrie. I want the TikTok Panda Queen to because she's got something to say about this.
Yes.
I want
This
you
right
to
here
vent
is
on this.
false.
Go ahead.
What you're saying is completely false. So Aaron Carter that day, I know for a fact that what he was telling everybody on that live, he was only telling bits and pieces of what was really said in those text messages. Nowhere in there did Melanie say that he was intentionally going to die or she was going to kill him. I do not like the woman, but for facts, 100% facts, in that message she said, I love you very much. I want you to stay clean and get healthy. If you do not stop huffing and doing what you're doing, you are going to die. He only read, you're going to die. He did that to get attention of all the viewers, all the fans. It was a sympathy gag. He got it.
Well, here's my, and I feel bad because what he did is called a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes, but it's truth. It was truth.
He brought it to fruition.
Going to die. Wow. It's fucked up. I can't block her. She has 30 TikToks, 20 Snapchats, 25 Instagrams, 35 Twitters.
And I don't believe any of that.
No.
She did have 2 accounts. She has 2 Instagrams.
She didn't have 25. She didn't have 35 TikToks.
No.
She didn't have 15 Facebooks.
No.
She didn't have 35 Instagrams. That's bullshit.
No, not that. But I can
again when somebody gets sorry, say again.
Here that was also friends with Aaron. His name is Andrew, and he's in the chat. People invited him. Wanted to point him out in the chat because people are wanting him to be recognized. So,
okay, and why do I need to do that?
I don't know. They just keep blowing it up in the chat to recognize this person.
Oh, Andrew Winter?
Aaron. He lives in Canada, by the way. He doesn't live in the United States.
How does this guy know? Just wondering. I'll tell you how this guy knows. This guy does his research, and we have a legal team that verifies our research. And we don't go on the air unless we are telling the truth straight up since day one. 5.5 years of nothing but the truth, the whole truth. So help me God. That's it.
And this guy, and I guess he knew him through music and collaborations and stuff or whatever.
We have information sources here that you don't have. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
A higher,
that's
a higher authority. Let's put it that way. So thank you, Andrew, for joining us. Okay, let's continue.
Follows all of my stuff. Did you guys ever see this woman stand up for me and stick up for me and have my back?
Now, so he's sober from everything except for weed. This man has been saying some crazy shit, like crazy.
Let's talk about crazy.
Mm.
You recognize her?
I know her. I blocked a lot of people on TikTok for a reason. One of them might be her.
Okay. Let's talk about what this woman's saying here.
So, I mean, she is right about one thing. Aaron did spout off a lot of crazy stuff. And a lot of that is because he was in his own head. A lot of that was just a fucked up moment. You know, when he was either intoxicated or
35 Twitters. She follows all.
Let's listen to her. Let's hear her out.
Like,
That's to say.
all of my stuff.
Paranoia.
Yeah, big time paranoia.
Did you guys ever see this woman stand up for me and stick up for me and have my back?
It looks like Let's Feel Sorry for Aaron show.
This is insane. So I am watching, or I'm listening to Steve-O's podcast, Steve-O from Jackass. It's called Wild Ride. Okay, great podcast. Steve-O's hilarious. I love Steve-O. So his latest guest is Aaron Carter. Just came out today. Aaron Carter, that's interesting. Aaron Carter, Steve-O, you know what I mean? So for those of you who don't know, Aaron Carter is brother of Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. Aaron had a lot of success in the early 2000s. He's had some mental health issues that have been in the press, drug issues. He says he's California sober now, so he's sober from everything except for weed. This man has been saying some crazy shit, like crazy. So let's get into it. So I'm going to focus on his Michael Jackson story. So he starts.
You've heard this before, Carrie? So let me ask you a question. You want me to skip past this chick?
I would. She's not even relevant. It's all bullshit. It's not true. Sorry.
All this money, and you didn't even get to blow it yourself like other people blew it.
Well, I mean, that's $75 million that was supposed to go into my account.
Was there ever any like legal action against like your parents?
No, because when all of a sudden 2014, I get hit with a bankruptcy, and I was like completely broke at the time, doing this off-Broadway show called The Fantastics. And then my lawyer, you're gonna probably get like on a chapter 11 or a 13 or something like that. He says, by the graces of God, you'll get a chapter 7, but it's probably not going to happen.
How much did you owe?
I owed over $8 million. At that point, I just was like, I'm screwed. And I called my brother, Nick, and I asked him, I said, yo, can I have $1,500 to start this bankruptcy thing? And he said no. And then I went to the courts, paid the money.
How'd you get the money?
I ended up getting a bonus that month. So I got $30,000. My attorney, Jan Michael Morris, was like, hey, all you have to do is get a judgment against your mom and dad. They'll go to prison. You don't have to pay a dime. I said I would never do that to my parents. I'm going to do good things, and I'm going to rebuild my career. So I went to the judge personally, and the judge was like, hey, just sign these papers, and it's not on you. And I said, nope. I told him right to his face. I said, I'll pay the 50 cents on the dollar. And he goes, because you said that, I'm giving you a chapter 7. Bam. You have a full discharge. Everything is getting paid off for you for free. Because
that never happened. Okay.
Nope.
Again, that's not how it works. Okay. Nope. Aaron is speaking to people as if they don't understand. Well,
you're right.
There are a few people that do understand. I'm one of them. That's not how it works. First of all, you are never allowed to approach the judge. You are not permitted to approach the judge. That's number one. Number two, $1,500 to start a bankruptcy. You're getting off easy, brother. Let me tell you something. Because it's $3,000 easy without blinking. So double that. Amelia,
I know.
You understand a little bit what that's like.
This was just last year for me. In 2022. Yeah. I filed bankruptcy, yes.
Okay. And it's a hell of a lot more than $1,500.
It is more.
A lot more.
Mhm.
So Aaron is talking as if people don't understand. Well, we do understand.
Because it was here
you're
in
trying
Tampa,
to
Florida for me.
you're trying to double talk or talk around the real issue, which is you got yourself in trouble and you couldn't get yourself out.
Mhm.
And I feel
Zero.
I told the judge I would never put my parents in prison.
When you make $500 million and your dad doesn't even put...
When somebody's not in their right mind like this,
Mhm.
and they're saying shit that's just like sounds crazy off the cuff, the chances are you really need to hear what they're saying, because they're trying to convince themselves that they believe what they're saying. If you listen to every clip that I played, he's talking as if he's trying to believe it. Do you understand that? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, he's trying to make himself believe it so everybody else will believe it.
Forget about the idol worship here.
Mhm.
I'm sorry he's dead. Believe me, and I don't wish that on anyone. I want everyone to live and prosper and be happy.
Mhm.
But if you are so disturbed to the point where you won't listen to people, that you'll deny you have a problem, then you have a problem.
Yes.
Okay? You got a big problem. And that's why no one will help you. But if
Agreed.
you humble yourself in front of your family and friends and maybe God, maybe you'll get somewhere. Let's listen.
Just had a great meeting with the TV show that I'm going to be doing. So, yeah, your boy's going into TV.
Again, he thought he was going into TV. That was never happening.
He did go into TV. He did. That's facts. He was on a show. They haven't released it. He was on a show. I did make a video about it. He was supposed to do a show where he was going and dating a girl that was also in rehab or something like that, but it wasn't released. And I don't know if they're going to air it because his part was never.
It'll never see the light of day.
Probably not.
It will make I will tell you though, it will make the rounds on YouTube.
Mhm.
Someone will leak it. Somebody on the production will leak it. It'll make the rounds on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. It might even make the rounds on Facebook. But I will tell you emphatically, the contract that he signed was null and void when he died.
Oh.
Period. So he was never going.
Ain't that right, Yodi?
Oh, hell yeah.
I can't give y'all too much, but give him the vague rundown, Yodi.
We're making a TV show about you, man.
You hear the guy he's talking to?
That's the guy with him at Walmart.
That was the guy that was with him when he died.
Yep, I know.
That's the guy.
I know.
Okay, so you want proof? There's your proof. He's talking to him on video.
I know.
Mental awareness. That's all they need to know.
There you go. This isn't a Neumann tat. Yeah, this is the TLM. Someone asked me, is that a Neumann tat?
Hell yeah.
I just gotta get it fixed. Bro, I remember we were together so long ago, bro, that we watched Finding Nemo in the movie theater together.
That's crazy.
Leslie Magudo.
That's crazy. Cause I'm like, bro, I think I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure. That's crazy.
Okay. This is when the police showed up. Does anybody find it strange? I thought it was a little odd that the girlfriend had to let the police in.
You know, after she supposedly verified that it was him that died.
Well, it was interesting that she had to.
Yeah.
She went in first, but she had to let the police in.
Right. She had to let.
Apparently, she had the key to the house.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
I know something was shady with that woman. I have all thought that she knew what was going to happen to Aaron that night, and that's why she took the baby and spent the weekend with the baby, because she knew what was going to happen.
Well, there are people who say that she's complicit in this.
Oops.
Yes.
She's not complicit. She knew.
Well, no, that's what complicit means.
Oh, yeah,
Like she had something to do with it already. That she had already had it planned.
Sorry, I'm plugging up my ring light.
Is anybody noticing her body language?
Yeah, she's
You
kind
know,
of.
she keeps looking behind her to the cops.
Yep, she's looking
she's-
because she hid something in her coat. She most definitely hit something.
Absolutely. For sure.
I don't know what it was, but it was something. She didn't want nobody.
That's the $1 million question.
And
But
she's on the phone too.
suspicion was one of his phones. It had to be. Why did she have it?
All right, let's read this.
Oh, Jesus.
There's something here we need to read.
Okay.
Okay.
The best I ever wanted in the worst way. With the dancing of the cake like it's your birthday. Now I'm putting down a word after your first name. Did you hurt me? Yeah. It's a perfect night. Came out alive when I did. You made me sad, but I would not know regret. It's never good.
Did anybody just see what I saw?
I just did, yes.
I missed
the hand
everybody what
motion
I'm
that he
talking
did.
about.
That he did this.
When he did
Oh,
this.
that was his signature. That's his signature. There's a reason behind it. Everybody knows why.
No, I don't know why. You need to tell me.
Because he, in his head, he thought he was part of the big I, you know?
Oh, really?
Oh, that in his head, yeah. That's
Okay.
and
$2012 vibe? Yeah, I didn't hear this.
His friend said his mind wasn't there, that he looked terrible. He went into the bathroom. The tub was disarrayed. He said all this other stuff. You would think that somebody who's with this person every day would take notice of their behavior, the change in their behavior, the change in their speech patterns, their language, what they how they say things, what they say. But nobody seems to be aware that this guy's losing his mind.
lied to me and told me that she didn't do this. So this is that girl. She changed a man's name to a girl's name, Rochelle. All right, to Rochelle. All right, and she was sending nudes while she was in a relationship. All right, no, this is called the truth. 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 And they're telling me they're sorry. Yeah, this is her. And I tattooed my fucking. All right. Goodbye. By the way, you guys have no idea what else happened. All right. So I will explain it to you. Everything that happened. This girl literally took advantage of me. She told her friends that, they were like, I see you're dating Aaron Carter. Why is that?
Was it necessary, Carrie, for him to go on and talk about his private life like this constantly?
No,
he
but
didn't do himself any favors.
He did it for recognition. He did it hoping he would get more recognition from all the multiple fangirls. And girls like, well, I wouldn't say like me because I actually knew the man, but all the 3,000+ fangirls that fell at his knees and worshiped the man, literally worshiped the man. And that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted.
Interesting.
And you know what she says? You know what she says? He has money. He's nice.
Shush your pies, because pies are good and they're warm.
Now, this was the most bizarre thing that I've seen. This was the strangest thing that I saw. He shaves his head on a live broadcast. And then he proceeds to spray his head, which is bald. He sprays it with hairspray. I don't understand that.
He was out of his mind.
Somebody said he had a Britney Spears moment. He sure the fuck did.
Yeah.
See, understand something, guys. You need to understand something. You cannot take a person in their 20s or teens and throw this kind of money at them and have them be normal. Here's a young guy, 34 years old at the time of his death, that was never, ever, ever going to have a normal life. His life was destined to be a circus. It was also destined to be very short. His behavior contributed to that. His family contributed to that. His choices in women definitely contributed to that. And making bad decision after bad decision was a recipe for utter disaster. He is a living testament to what not to do, what not to do. If Aaron did it, don't do it, because it's a lesson in what not to do. Or it's a lesson in how to do everything wrong.
Yeah.
If you want to learn how to do everything wrong, watch Aaron Carter. Aaron Carter died. I'm going to tell everybody how. He did not overdose.
Nope.
There were no drugs in his system. He did not drown. There was no water in his lungs. He died, ladies and gentlemen, from a collapsed lung due to air huff. Now, this stuff, I don't know if you're aware of what this stuff will do. Okay?
It causes sudden death.
It will expand your lungs like a balloon.
Yes, it will.
And just like a balloon, it'll pop. When it gets too full, it'll pop. So you essentially suffocate from the inside.
Too much
is what happened.
Too much can kill you.
And it killed him.
That's true.
It was an accident for all intents and purposes. I do not now, nor have I ever believed that he did this on purpose. I do not believe it was a suicide. I didn't believe it then. I don't believe it now. I believe it was an accident, as it will be ruled an accident after all is said and done. You watch over the next few months, Aaron's death will be ruled an accident.
Oh, well, I already know. I already know that.
Yeah.
And it's
been
probably going to be ruled an accidental OD.
That's what it was called. They considered it at the moment. They consider it sudden death.
Yeah.
From basically too much dustly.
Yeah.
And that goes along with what I told you guys.
Oh, I got a little puppy dog. Who said that?
Yeah.
Which is really fun.
Look at him. He's just crazy.
I've always had to see what it looks like, you know what I mean? Oh, thank you so much, family. Familia. Why? Because it's my life and my choices.
His fiancee Melanie Martin gave birth to a baby boy. They have ended their relationship. On in the day, Aaron took to Twitter again saying,
2 days prior, on November 3rd, he requests to speak with the most hated man in America, Kanye West. I don't know what he wanted.
Okay. This is something that's interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
The day before he died, Aaron Carter sent a message to Kanye West. And it went something like this. It went, "Hey, yay, I know what you're talking about. Let's talk." Or something to that effect. Do you understand, Carrie, what I'm talking about? What was going on with him and Kanye?
He had a lot of information about the industry that he wanted to reveal to Kanye, and about people that were supposedly coming after him for a lot of things that he wanted Kanye to reveal, because Aaron was scared that if he revealed them, that unfortunately it would be his demise, which unfortunately happened anyway.
Yeah. Let's finish this up. There's about a minute
To
left.
talk to him about. But aside from Kanye's controversial comments, he has also been talking a lot about the mistreatment and the control of artists in the music industry. Aaron spent a lot of time around the music industry. His brother's a Backstreet Boy. He had his own solo career. He also dealt with his own drug and mental health issues. So it's just a little weird that after requesting to speak with Kanye, he ends up dead. There's a long list of celebrities that have ended up dead right when they're about to speak out about something. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know what he died from. But it's one of those things that make you say, remember, keep your mind sharp. Don't listen to the media. This is Flip the Script podcast out.
Can we
So
pause?
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanna address some comments in the chat, because I'm seeing a lot of, people that are still
Please
not.
do. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
We've
Yeah.
never had. We actually broke a record tonight for our
Yes, we
chat.
did.
We've never had
Mm-mm.
so
I just
many people in
wanna,
our chat.
like,
Mhm.
make on a few people that are commenting on things were the enablers, and one of them being one of the people in the chat that says, that made a comment just a minute ago, that said wasn't in his head, y'all are naive. That's one of the people that I literally seen proof of him drinking lean with him, doing all kinds of other drugs with Aaron Carter. This person also had bashed Aaron Carter many months ago and was talking pure shit about Aaron. And now that Aaron is gone, all of these people that put Aaron down and bashed Aaron are coming forward, and now they feel some type of way, and now they love Aaron all of a sudden, and they were there to help him. When in reality, they were there to put Aaron down and cause his demise. If it weren't been for these people, Aaron probably would have got his life straight. But when you got people that are feeding you shit and that keep feeding an addict shit, it's going to cause their demise. Aaron did die from air duster. I truly 100% believe that when the toxicology does come out, it's going to prove it. And let me just say this. He went on the doctors, true facts. He went on the doctors and told them on the doctors, if you don't believe me, go Google the doctors on his thing. And he went on there, admitted, and they asked the doctors guy, Dr. Oz, asked him, did he do any kind of huffer lately? And Aaron said, no. But do you want me to take a test because it's going to come up negative? 100% facts. You cannot find duster chemicals on a drug test. You have to have it tested when you're dead, which is why the toxicology is not came back yet. So there you go. Facts for everybody. Get a medical degree. You'll know.
I'd like to address a chick in the chat room called Sassy Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, Big Mouth. This is for you. Okay.
Yeah, she does have a
This
big
guy
mouth.
doesn't have the facts straight. What real research has he done? I have explained
Apparently
this
you don't have
earlier,
any-
and I will explain it to you because apparently not only are you ugly, but you're stupid too. So
TikTok ain't
here's the
real.
problem. Here's the problem. I can't come on the air and lie. I
No.
can't do it because we have a legal team that fact checks everything that we do.
Every single
You
thing.
understand? And I'm on 3,000 radio stations around the world. Go on our website. We're almost 11 million visits right now. Okay? So what have I done? Well, let's see. Other than make your life miserable, I've not done too much tonight. But I hope I make you. I continue to make you miserable.
I like the fact that people are saying that this guy lives in Canada, that he did nothing wrong, when I could literally go on YouTube right now and other platforms pull videos up of this guy bashing Aaron Carter and calling him a drug addict himself. So
here's what bothers me. She goes, she goes. Here's her idea. This stupid biatch. This is her idea of research. She says, watch TikToks. That's my fucking research. TikToks. I'd rather stay home and masturbate. Go fuck yourself.
And then this one right here, facts check squares. None of your business. It's our business. Thank you. You no need to know.
Fuck out of here.
No need to know where your checks are fixed. Thank you.
I need to know the person that said get a degree. I worked in the medical field for about 6 years. Okay. I have 3 med certifications, and I got those med certifications because I worked in the medical field. Yes, an autopsy would show a collapse lung, but do they have to give you all that information? No, they don't, which means you only know what's released to the general public. They're not going to tell people like me and you stuff. So again, people need to get their facts straight and do more research on things and quit being little bully trolls in the chat and act like you know things that you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. You only know what's told to you. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I work in the medical field too, and our doctors only sign what they need to mainly sign on the death certificate and give it to the funeral home basically as well.
Right, which means if he did, it was accidental, which very well is accidental.
I
Because
told people at the beginning, some people are going to like it, some people
are
won't
going to
like
hate it.
Like it.
This is the truth. If you don't like the truth, like I said, sassy cat. Here's the deal, chick.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal. If you don't like the truth, make up your own truth like everybody else. Go on TikTok and believe whatever bullshit you want, okay? But this show has a legal obligation to tell the truth. And that's what we do here. All right?
There's somebody in here that says something about your legal team. They're challenging you, apparently.
Good for them. Good for them.
Yes. And another person said that Andrew was a friend of Aaron and he was around him. Again,
I don't really care.
Around him, and he was an enabler. He fed him drugs. He gave him lean. He enabled Aaron's behavior. He did not prevent it. He did it with him. Literally factual video. So if you guys want to believe this clown and believe that he helped Aaron when literally every time he goes live on video, he looks high himself. Y'all go ahead, because what he's throwing out is not caring about Aaron.
Well, he's not going to hijack this show because I don't give a shit who Andrew, whoever the fuck his name is. I don't care. I didn't care then. I don't care now. Okay.
Exactly.
It's this simple.
Yes.
I promised to get to the truth of it. I got to the truth of it. There you go. All right. I'll tell you what. Panda, tell everybody where they can reach you.
Oh, yes.
I'm on TikTok at Panda Queen 327. If y'all want to check me out there, I'm also on Instagram at Panda Queen 0327. So y'all want to reach me there? I'm at.
This is always a slippery slope whenever you deal with super fans, especially ignorant super fans. Okay. Because most of these people don't know have a fucking iota of a clue what they're talking about.
No.
Okay. But if you have the balls to join me on the air, like
now you're
did,
Nostradamus.
then jump on the air with me, but you don't have the fucking balls.
Right.
Okay. Anyway. Amelia, it's you and me, kid.
Yeah.
It's you and me. All right, tell everybody what's coming up next week.
Yeah, next week we are actually going to be doing a show on who is the Rain Man in the music business on January 17th.
We are
Blacked out,
doing the
sorry.
Rain Man next week.
Yes.
Stay with me, Carrie. Don't go
Yes,
anywhere.
don't go anywhere. And on the 19th, we're going to be doing again Who is the Rain Man, but this one is Satan in Hollywood.
Absolutely. We're going to cover Satan worship in Hollywood, in the music industry. Who is the Rain Man? Why does Beyonce and Jay-Z keep the Rain Man so close to the vest? What is it about this demonic character that's got the hold on the music industry right now?
Yeah.
We're going to find out.
Yes.
I don't think
some people that ask, but a lot of people aren't talking. It's funny.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't talking. It's very easy to understand why they're not talking. I'm getting people pissed off in the chat. Good.
Yeah.
A mission accomplished.
Andrew is not the only one that was a friend. You guys are stupid. You guys are fucking morons. You think that Aaron only had one friend? He had over 3,000 women that he manipulated on a daily basis. I'm
absolutely
talking to people. Come on, guys. Y'all need to tighten up.
Absolutely.
For real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
we are available on youtube.com at What's the Buzz Podcast. We are available. You can email the show at what'sthebuzzpodcast@gmail.com. Our name is our address at wwtfradio.podbean.com or on a radio station near you.
Yes.
Check your local listings for a station near you.
Mm-hmm.
Amelia, what else we got coming up?
For right now, that's good. We're going to have some more shows coming up. I'm going to be doing another show soon. I will be picking a subject very soon and coming on live.
You better, because we got to get it up on the air.
Exactly.
I want to thank Carrie, the TikTok Panned Queen, for joining us tonight. I want to thank Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman.
And this is just part one of Aaron Carter.
Hopefully I'll be back again,
coming back every week.
Absolutely. We're going to have you again for a part 2 soon. So that way.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
And I'm going to invite the same cast of characters in the chat room, and I'm going to piss them off
I hope
too.
all of them come.
I don't give a flying fuck.
I hope all of them come.
Yes.
And I am the Mad Dog at WWTF Radio. I am your executive producer and your host. Till we see you next, be good, be kind, peace out.